talk to you about speech production. So I'm speaking right now, right? Yes. All right, and so what's happening to my body? Well, maybe I look a little bit like this guy here on the screen. Maybe I don't look exactly like him because I've got my clothes on and I didn't want to come here naked like this guy. So I just wanted to show you this guy here because this man, well, we can see the inside of him, right? So what happens when you speak is, first of all, you get a thought. You get something in your brain which then triggers you into doing the following steps. Okay, so after the brain says, I gotta say something, I wanna say something, I'm gonna speak, then it triggers some actions, physical actions that go on. So what's the first thing that happens? Well, what happens is that your diaphragm goes into action, and it will then tell you, I gotta move the lungs. So the diaphragm is located under your lungs. Okay, do you know where your lungs are? Where are your lungs? Can you show me where your lungs are? Open it up. Just kidding. So you've got lungs in here, right? Okay, so under the lungs, let's pretend we can get under the lungs, right? We've got a diaphragm, okay, and that diaphragm can help squeeze, right? It can pull down the air to fill up the lungs, and then it can squeeze the lungs. And what happens? The air goes out this way, right? At least in my body. What about yours? Same? Okay, all right, then, good, we're on the right track. All right. So the next thing that happens is that the lungs pump the air up through, and then they come out the mouth, right? So all the way up here it comes out. Wow, right? 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 There's the air. There's the air. Okay, so there's the air. But when I'm speaking, I usually don't go. Do you? No, you don't either. All right, so what happens to you when you want to speak? There are some things that will alter, modify, adjust the air as the air comes out. So what are those things that will modify the air? Your nose. That's one of the things, right? Your lip, your tongue, your glottal, your vibration of the vocal cords, right? Right? All of these things will modify the sound as it's being starting from down here, going all the way up here, and then coming out through the mouth, right? Did you know that? Did you think about that? Huh? I want you to think about that. Because if you do, then you know what you can do to make some changes or control all of these things. So if you only think about pronunciation as here, you've only got short end of the picture, right? Not the whole picture. So what I want you to do is really think about all of these important parts that will help you speak more clearly, vocalizing what happens in your the vocal cords or vocal folds when they vibrate, right? And what happens when you change the way that you send the air out through your nose. I'm sending the air out through my nose or out through my oral cavity, my mouth, right? And then I change my jaw position. I change my tongue, right? And all of those change the sound of my voice, right? That happens to you too. And you can make more changes in the sound of your voice the more you learn to control all of your speaking apparatus, yeah? Then finally you get to go boing, 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 and the speech comes out. La 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 la, ha 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 ha. Speech comes out, songs come out, all sorts of stuff. Now, you are familiar probably with this side view. This is called a sagittal view of the speech organs, right? The speech organs. So you can see this guy up here too. We just cut him in half. So I didn't want to do that to me because otherwise it would be hard to put my other half back on. But you know, something like that, right? Okay, so you see this is the nasal cavity up here, and the lips are out here, and the tongue, and then inside of here, all of this, inside the mouth is what we call the palate. There's a soft palate, a hard palate. And back here we have, down here, right here, we can't see it very well. We've got the pharynx, the larynx, the glottis, all of that stuff. It's a good thing we have a diagram because I wouldn't be able to show you. Okay, if we had one of those cameras, you know, that could, those mini cameras with a long tube and they could go down, then I could show you. But I didn't bring one with me today, so I just thought a picture would be good. A diagram, right? You're okay with a diagram?
Yes.
All right, so these speech organs are all very helpful to know about in order to be able to speak better. Now, are you, all of you planning to become teachers? Raise your hand if you're planning to become a classroom teacher. Yes? Okay, so when you're a classroom teacher, are you going to use a little tiny voice or a big booming voice? Which do you think would be easier for your students to hear? A little tiny voice or a big booming voice? Probably a big booming voice, right? Yeah, so that's why it's very good for you to train yourself to use your diaphragm and your lungs and all of your speaking apparatus so that you can speak more clearly and effectively to your students. And also, if you're teaching them a foreign language, then you need to help them with different ways to move all those parts and pieces so that they can make new sounds, perhaps sounds that are different from the ones in their native language.